Hello, Q&R Code. I'm Quinn.
And I'm Riley, and welcome to the podcast. I want to address right out the gate, I don't know if Quinn's noticed this yet or not, but how adorable is it that we brought our matching but different colored glasses by the same artist as our water glasses today. Quinn has an orange situation. Cheers. Mine's purple. Very Halloween coded together, but alas,
or springy.
Yeah, it's not actually giving Halloween, but I just think that was on my mind because I was at Trader Joe's yesterday, saw the mini totes, and my Trader Joe's had some leftover Halloween purple and orange ones that they were trying to get rid of at the same time. But I said to Quinn, I texted her from the store, why are people so feral for these mini totes? It's so interesting, the nature of trending products, that just because something is in the zeitgeist, people want it so bad. And believe me, I'm a Trader Joe's girl, and Quinn and I actually grew up using the classic Trader Joe's with the wine bottle and cheese standard navy tote for grocery shopping because our mom got those reusable bags once when we were little kids, and so then those were the bags that we used. But now it's like the it bag, and it was funny because some customers from Europe came into the store where I work, and they were saying, my gosh, they saw I had brought some of my lunch in a Trader Joe's bag, and they were like, you have one of those? Those are so hard to get in Europe. We want them so badly. Where do I get them? I'm like, Trader Joe's, baby. But they were so excited about it, and it's just, yeah, just funny how those things work. Anyway, how are you?
That is very funny, but those are the things that I will say, the regular, just the standard Trader Joe's or Land's End, the canvas tote bag. Those do hold up to the test of time because they are 100% cotton and great functional items.
Yeah, they hold up to the test of time both in terms of style, that clearly people will still like the look, and it's not just a trend that then you get over, but also, as Quinn's saying, quality and durability wise. We also have those boat totes, I think is what they're called, from being little kids, that our mom would send them as our sleepover bag. We would put our pillow and our jammies and things in there and use them for
so cute to think about.
So
our little
adorable
sleepover bags. I understand
bag.
Parents these days are having the hard decision to make between to let kids sleep over and to not sleep over, but some sleepovers were the most fun time of my life as a kid.
Yes.
That's so special to be. Even with us siblings, we would be should we have a camp out? Everyone in one room, 2 people on the floor, 2 people in the beds.
Which I was actually just gonna bring up, Quinn, because of that being a Christmas tradition for us, which is so cute. We used to do a Christmas camp out in the boys' room, and Quinn and I would set up a little nest on the floor.
So cute.
Christmas Eve read, "'Twas the night before Christmas."
And all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Thank you. I thought you were going to do a Q&R code riff on that, but not quick enough, I see.
Not even no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Can you imagine if you ever were approached by, my feed has been giving me this guy in New York that has a little turntable set up and a microphone, and having people rap on a beat with him, and of course some of them are just fresh to death, so good, and that's something I always wish that I had the gall to just be yeah, let me lay down a serious freestyle bar right now, and that it's just the odds of me sometimes alone in my room, there will be a moment that I'm you know what, I kind of had that there for a minute, but I just don't have it with the pressure of the performance and being recorded with, something that level of bravery.
I have successfully freestyled some slam poetry in the past that
Yes.
I can get there with that. I don't think that I'm the one to do a rap battle moment, but even when somebody once, one of my friends was like, I want to record you doing your slam improv, and I'm like, as soon as you start recording me, now you're putting me on the spot, and now it's
Yeah,
not
the
just for the
magic
bit,
falls.
and yeah, loses its
That is the thing, is
luster.
I'm just better. I'm better in person and like more one-on-one than strangers. Like I just can, I'm my best self to those who I'm close to and can bring out more of my personality. And then even sometimes one-on-one with someone I know, of course, I think a lot of people have this. I'll just keep talking and fill in the silence for a minute, and I'm like, I just said words that I didn't even care about, that I don't even really think are true, that I like literally just erase in your brain that I
Yeah.
said that.
I love silence with people I'm comfortable with, like you and Brayden and Sean or whatever. I have no problem just sitting there in silence, but I feel like have needed and want to continue to practice feeling more at ease with silence in a situation with people I'm less comfortable with. Like, say you're going to a dinner party with, like, a friend invites you, but you don't know the other people there, then I definitely am more prone to feeling the need to fill the silence, even though I know
Hmm.
it's okay if there's just still air, but I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, this is awkward. I Den and I both, as a couple, will be the ones that we will just
Keep
talk to
talking.
keep the conversation going. And I will say there
Yeah.
are situations where I'm like, okay, it is kind of weird that no one is even making an attempt to not just have this be, especially when it's a group of people pulled together like randomly. If you're a host, in my eyes, that's your responsibility. If you know you're getting people together that like aren't the most maybe outgoing and they also don't know each other, then you kind of have to figure out how are you going to bridge this. There are certain times where hosts, I think, can do a great job where they're like, these are pulling from different friend groups, but I know that like this will flow well.
Yeah. I'm so glad to report back on our Christmas party for Sean's work. It was such a very, very good holiday office Christmas party. I'm like, yes, you guys, gold stars. I love Sean's company. They're so awesome. And they reserved a ballroom at a hotel downtown in Denver that's it's on this block that is decorated so cute for the holidays.
Aw.
And like I had said, they started us in the cocktail lounge and they had all these adorable, very holiday. For someone that's very overwhelmed by the holidays, this would have been like, this is a big time holiday party. For me, I was like, oh my gosh, Sean and I seriously never drive into the city in Christmas time. Like, so, so rarely do something like that. So we got to see the city, and different people had Christmas trees in their windows lit up, and this just beautifully decorated block. And then everyone also, you guys really dressed up for the theme. So it was so fun seeing people's Mad Men themed outfits. And we had fun getting dressed up, and the food was delicious. The company was good. It just is one of those parties that it flowed so well, and I actually enjoyed my time standing there, being there, having conversations, and was like, this is time well spent. That just filled my social cup. And
Nice. Best
how
case
can you
scenario.
can't report back better from a party than that.
Yeah, 100%. Also, ding ding ding, good food. There's nothing like going to a work function and the catering is not there, not
Good
a
at
work
all.
function, any sort of function. And I love that they are a company that they take care of their people. To give you a peek into it, on the daily, Sean has available Olipop, or is it Poppy, or both? Maybe it's
Both
Poppy.
at times.
Both in their like break room with snacks and stuff, and that alone, I'm like, I want to, that Quinn
And
and I want a little prebiotic soda moment.
And a ginormous thing of peanut M&Ms, Riley, and this stuff stays like
danger.
It stays organized and functional. There's just like so much gum that if you need some gum, and coffee
gosh, God
stations.
Forbid at Braden's work there's gum available. He would be smack-a-lacking on that all day.
Well, you have to have judgment and just freshen up with a piece of gum. But yeah, their office is awesome, and they're so well taken care of and just good, sweet people. It honestly is pretty amazing that they have put together such a good group of engineers. I'm like, way to go. You guys are really doing your job well, and it's cool to see that it's still a small company, but that they've grown so much, and hear them like every year when they do a party, they'll have someone, speak for a little bit about who's made it to 10 years or whatever, because now they've had a couple people make it to 10 years. They started as a very small, no profit whatsoever, business that they've turned into
a success.
And yeah. We're like, in the Q&R code, who everyone gets health benefits and HSA. We match your 401ks.
Yeah, we're going to look back and think, when we're very small.
Yeah.
Oh, just kidding. Anyway.
When we grow our team to 80 people.
Well, it is kind of crazy. I know that they're an exception of a podcast. I'm talking about My Favorite Murder, because they started, just those two. They very quickly started monetizing their podcast, but then they started a podcast network, and they have lots of like other podcasts under the Exactly Right Media umbrella. And I forget how many employees they had, but I feel like they said like they have, 100 people working there or something.
Wow.
And I don't know. Of course, there are huge, massive podcasts like the Barstool ones and whatnot, but for just, I like Karen and Georgia so much, and as you guys know, Quinn got to go see them recently. I just think that they're such a great example also of not, having your footing as early in life, and still, I think Georgia was like 35 or something when the podcast started, so that's very young. But compared to when we're seeing influencers at like 20 start to like make it huge, it can feel like a skewed timeline. And
definitely.
Speaking of influencers making it huge, I still haven't ever followed Alex Earl, but I should, because I really enjoyed watching her on Dancing with the Stars. That's like the most familiar I've become with her. But I think dang it now, and maybe I'm actually getting her confused. I think after Dancing with the Stars, she was going to go on to do something with dance, but am I conflating her with Whitney? I know Whitney's doing cabaret. So maybe
Chicago.
Chicago. Thank you.
I don't know that she's going on to pursue anything like that. I haven't heard that, but I could see her totally going on to try and act or something. I don't know what her big plans are for herself, but
did you
that
watch
was such a fun Dancing with the Stars season.
Did you end up watching the finale episode or not?
I thought that we did.
No, we didn't together.
Really?
Yeah.
So maybe not.
Okay, well, I love Robert Irwin, of course. This is not to diminish that at all. But I have to say, I think by far the best finale performance was Jordan Chiles's. And I think you would remember if you'd seen it, Quinn, because she did like a sick hip-hop routine with, there was like a chain link fence that she was like climbing and flipping off of with a dance troupe, and she had so much energy. It was so entertaining. The performance was like incredible, and I'm not saying Robert didn't deserve to win. He is a golden boy, people's choice, and I think he's great. I would have loved to see Jordan Chiles win, because I think that she is just I mean, the classic Olympian, I guess, where she works so hard. She takes criticism so well. Like, every time she got feedback, she's genuinely down for it. She wants to get better. She put herself out there. And also, I love to just see Black women excellence. And I think that she, like, really brought it with her finale piece. And if it were judged based off of that night, I would have given it to her, I think. But they all did good pieces. I thought Robert Irwin's was like a little less entertaining, frankly, but maybe it's just because I'm a dancer and I've seen so many dances to Black and Gold at this point. When the fish swam out of the ocean. He did his to that song.
Yes, I immediately know what song is Black and Gold, which I am dying to watch Fame again.
Yes.
But I heard that from our friend Jazz, said that she did not think Robert had that great of a performance. So I might have been thinking of the night before or whatever, the week before.
Semifinal.
But I have to go back and watch because I love to hear that about Jordan. I think Jordan has improved so much, and I've been saying I'm excited about Robert Irwin just because yes, he is Golden Boy and he is so nice and so likable and also doing important things for the earth. But I love that about Jordan, and also Ezra is so awesome, and they deserve a win.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure they would have been the first like couple on Dancing with the Stars that were like both of color to win the mirror ball. And when people hear that, I know that in this age of being resistant to DEI and stuff, it can feel like, oh, just because they're people of color doesn't mean I'm not saying that's why they deserve it, but I do think that if you know anything about the dance world, can recognize that in America it has been very exclusionary and very prioritized whiteness in dance, especially ballroom. Yes. So of course it does matter to like make different people feel included, and like that's a possibility for them. And still, like, one of the examples of Black women in dance, Misty Copeland, is very like a super contemporary person that has like had to continue to fight for just super basic things, like getting to wear tights that were her skin tone and not pink, and with her ballet or with her point shoes having to always hand paint them because they don't make them for and just all those details. It's not to say that's why you should, but it's important to have those milestones happen so then people see like, oh, this isn't just about white people.
Yeah, definitely. And you said you thought their dance was better. So if you think it's better, obviously it's the best dance is supposed to win. I wonder too what if did on the finale they also get voters, like can everyone vote for the finale too? So
what I think, it's just she didn't have the same like voting turnout, which you can't deny that has something to do with your level of like popularity and likability to people.
Well, so fun. Should we move into just a little bit of holiday talk?
Dare I say Christmas corner?
A little cozy Christmas corner with the Q&R code.
First of all, Quinn and I both watched our, dare I say, fave Christmas movie, The Holiday. Definitely, I had a hiccup. Definitely our favorite romantic Christmas movie is The Holiday, and it's just, I don't get tired of it. I love it. I also don't get tired of Cameron Diaz's wardrobe in that movie. Just beautiful, cozy sweaters, timeless style, and
the layering.
I also don't get tired of young Jude Law.
Neither do I. I also don't get tired of the type of humor Jack Black being in there. I love the scene with Mr. Cameron Diaz singing Mr. Bright Eyes. choking
Yeah.
on your alibi.
Yeah, she's so good in that. And I want Kate Winslet's little country cottage with the bathtub and her stone bathroom.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? It's so cute.
Just the perfect wreath with the one red ribbon. I'm like, don't zoom out aerial view and have it be the cobblestone. What is it called when the brick wall? It's not brick, like a stone wall, I guess. That line the streets or the country roads. I'm just like, oh, that. I wonder why. Maybe because we belong there. That's where our heritage is from, and to see the just quaint.
Back to something deep inside.
It makes sense why potatoes work so well for us. Like, we love a root vegetable and
potatoes by blood.
But yeah, it all makes sense, and why we can enjoy a little cold and
yeah.
Speaking of spring with our glasses, it's feeling like beyond spring here. It's supposed to be 70 degrees here as a high tomorrow. So
oh my gosh.
It's just really a trip for me. I'm, obviously enjoying the world, and I feel so lucky and grateful to be here, but I am having to work through the feelings that are considering the climate change, having to do with why Colorado is so hot and dry. And our animals are just not fuzzy the way they're usually fuzzy in the winter. I'm like, I need more. They barely have their little fuzz. It's like the littlest coat of, oh yeah, because last night it actually frosted, which there's been so little even frost where we are. And so this morning I saw a little bit their little feathery coats on the equine, but
that's so hard though, because of course they're too hot right now if they have their winter coat, but you know how the weather can be in the winter world, then it might just like drop and be below zero and then they're not fuzzied out.
Yeah, thankfully we have such a healthy herd, and I am glad because they a little bit got prepared with the first snow that happened while you were here, but that's been our only snow was while you were here, and that's
well, I'm glad we
just
got
hard
to
for
have
me
it
because
together.
I'm glad we got to have our snow day together, snow days. But of course, we're Wyoming women. We like a white Christmas with snow blanketing the pasture. It's just
we also like to not have a raging fire season.
Yeah, and we like the fishies to drink water and the rivers to stick around, but then not flood. Anyway, I'm like,
Merry
season.
Christmas.
But we had a little baking cookies night last night, and that was fun getting into this season. Riley really encouraged me because I felt for just a blip in time stressed of being like, do I have all the ingredients for cookies? And Riley's like, Quinn, be so for real. Cookies are the easiest thing to bake ever. Just have fun. But, not everyone is proficient like Riley in baking in the kitchen. And you just hope that you have a Riley with you in the holiday season to get things baked and cooking and delicious around you. Great initiative taker.
Yeah. I think that the best advice for people baking is just to be organized with it, and I've said it on the pod, but I'll repeat myself. I read the recipe through beforehand so you get an idea of what's going on. A couple times is best, but I always get out my mise en place, all of my ingredients out, and then as you go, you put things away, so then you're like, okay, I already used the flour, so it's away, I used the sugar, so it's away, so then when you're done getting the ingredients together, you are like, oh, I already put that stuff away, all I have to do is wash one bowl, and my cookies are in the oven, and makes life easier, but there are certainly more complicated recipes than a chocolate chip cookie, but I just think that it's a necessity to bake during the holidays, and I am so excited because tomorrow I'm making the Lilge girls' signature shortbread, which is a delicious shortbread topped with honey nuts. It has pistachios, cashews, um, what else? I'm like, it has like
Almonds?
4 types of, yeah, almonds and pecans and roasted.
And a caramelized honey drizzle. It's absolutely out of this world, and I would love to be having that this year as well. I think I will need to prioritize that, and also trying to get some sourdough prepped. I want to have some sourdough pull-apart buns ready for Christmas brunch.
Guys, I made the most pathetic sourdough loaves I've ever made the other day because at night our house got too cold and it just didn't rise. And so in the morning I tried to raise the temp and give it some time, but it was it was too late. It didn't rise. I, of course, as we do, baked it anyway, just didn't want to just throw the baby out with the bathwater, but it was like the pancakiest to sourdough. It was annoying actually because I made 3 loaves because I was giving 2. I was going to see friends that night and was going to give 2 away and then have one for us. And I'm like, I don't even feel good about gifting these. It's not like, this isn't my best loaf. Like, genuinely so flat. But I decided to give it to them anyway, and I was like, you can make this into croutons or breadcrumbs or like crostini. There's lots of things you can do, but it was just like not my day with it, which was so annoying that it was the day that I was not just making my standard 1 loaf. I literally had 3 go horribly. So annoying. Sharing that so you guys know it's not always beautiful, bodacious loaves and butterflies over here.
Yeah, well, you can't get them all. Maybe some people can, but I will be excited one day to take a sourdough class because as much as I feel like I can functionally make sourdough, I know there are, the tricks of the trade that I could really learn from someone with a lot more experience that would get me making some more attractive loaves too, because I just know the very basic, why am I forgetting what that step is called? Scoring technique. And they can still look cute, but sometimes they rise a little unevenly, so one edge opens up a little bit more, one less, and I really don't mind them being funky for now, but I just think that'll be a fun thing in the future to get to be a little better at.
My Christmas gift that I can reveal because I'm gifting it to myself. I did literally wrap it, so I will be opening it on Christmas, but
nice.
It's a bread baking book called, I think, Flour, Water, Yeast, Salt. It's those 4 words. I don't know the order that they're in, but it gets very technical and has a lot of information about bread baking, which for some people I think they would be like, oh my gosh, this is just way too sciencey. But I think if you want to level up in bread baking, you have to understand those things. And I feel like from our cookbook that we have plugged, we love our Artisan Sourdough Made Simple cookbook. It definitely just gets the ball rolling for you and explains in a super beginner friendly way what to do. I'm like, if I need to understand it better so I can really have more consistency, level up. I know exactly what went wrong in this situation. My house was too cold. I know what this mistake was, but there are some times where also, wait till it rises and doubles in size and those things. It's a very vague kind of idea that I'm looking at that I would love to understand more specifically what's going on so I can be a better baker. So I'm excited about that.
Nice. I don't really know what Christmas presents are going to look like for our Christmas this year exactly. Sean and I ended up finding a really cool antique store last weekend, actually, when we went to go look at a mule, which I'll leave that information for next week, but we don't have the time to dive into mule talk today. Muletide greetings, though. Wink. um, we
Don't
found
worry, guys. Quinn got a good laugh from me the first time she said that.
Yes, I did. It's my thing now. It's coming out every Muletide season. But we found this awesome antique store, and so we did some shopping. We actually both could not help ourselves because I said walking into it, Sean, we should not cross any farther based on what I'm already seeing if we don't intend to spend money, because what I'm seeing in the first 10 feet of this store, I'm telling you, I'm gonna find things I don't have the strength to not bring home. And we decided we would do a little bit of Christmas shopping for each other and ourselves / each other. And we did find some really, really fun stuff. We tried to stay pretty conservative in what we spent, but we had fun. I found a really awesome cowboy hat that I just could not turn down, and I was very close to getting to, but practiced strength. And I'm glad that I had Riley and Sean to keep me in line. But the hat I ended up getting is a resistol, and that's my first one. The other hat I was looking at is Stetson, and it was quite a bit more than twice the price, so it ended up being in everybody's favor. And I love this brown hat. It's my first like brown felt hat. Anywho, we have some little things that we got, but I don't know that we'll actually go to wrapping much of it. I would love if Sean decided he wanted to wrap a little something for me, and I have a couple things to wrap for Sean, but anyway. We don't have a tree up or anything, and I guess we'll just on our bench like put a few little gifts.
Yeah. Well, I would love to have a Christmas tree, but that's just, I feel like now I understand how parents get more motivation to do Christmas when it's for kids, because you really want to make that feeling of magic. And with Brayden and I, the two of us, I've decorated, and that has been so nice because I didn't decorate any other year that we've lived here. I mean, other than literally the smallest little touches. And so we have that going, and I'm like, I would of course love the experience of a lit tree and doing all the ornaments. That's just such a fun, special thing for me. But not only do we not have the space, I feel like if we wanted to, we would, you can always figure that side of it out. But it's just like, we're not going to go to that hassle for us to. The sentiment is nice, and I'm looking forward to when we do our first little couple's Christmas tree in our house. But what I do have is a pine-scented candle.
Yeah.
That's bringing that element into the home.
That makes a big difference. I love that smell. Seriously, I just love this season. It makes so much sense for me. I love the smell. I frickin' love candy canes. I love hot cocoa. I love the snow. I love being
my mom.
Joyful and
I love my dad.
I love jammies. I love presents. I love decorations. Like, they're just such fun, happy decorations to me. I love horses, and what I really want is to have a tradition in our family of going out and getting a tree with the equine and having them help us transport it to haul the tree. And it just makes me be like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. I love you so much. They're just such a good part of the family.
I just love how horses show up in so many Christmas decorations. Like, I'm looking right there, and my little Santa is holding a little rocking horse, and over there I have a horse ornament, and I just feel like horses are incorporated in very well, so I love it.
With how Christmas came to be and these traditions, obviously people back then, horses were part of more people's lives.
Yeah.
Which is
super important part of daily life.
Yeah, that's so cool and crazy, and something that we thought a lot about when we were in Virginia. We told you guys we visited Limoncello. What's it called?
No.
Monticello.
Yep.
I got it. I got there myself. We visited Monticello, which was where Thomas Jefferson lived he was born there and lived a lot of his life, and he was not born there. He came early.
It was his dad's land, but then he built it as a...
Oh, but I thought he was
designed.
born right around there.
Yes, in this area, but not the home wasn't
Well, not
there.
in the
He
home.
cleared.
Duh. He built
Okay.
the home. We can't give them the whole history lesson. But anyway, I was just curious about the horse stuff going on at that time because
The guide was fully undereducated about the horse care for Quinn's preference. They're like, any questions? Quinn's like, so, where did they feed, the horses? Did they hay their fields, or? And she's like, I do not know. And Quinn's like, disappointing.
Well, to me, one thing that really just made me scratch my noggin was why, if you built this property yourself, are the horse stables out of view from the home? And yes, I understand that he had enslaved people tending to his animals, but I'm like, I just would think, especially with someone being such an animal lover and that he was apparently into the horses and stuff, I'm like, I just can only imagine when it's completely your choice how you're building everything on your property to want to see your horses out your window.
Yeah, you would have made some different choices about that property. I also think probably wouldn't need a row of cabins for enslaved people also out of view of the house. I think kind of his vibe was the house is like the top of the hill and that's what you see, and then the other things are considered like auxiliary buildings. He didn't want to be in view. He just wanted to see out to the land. That I don't know, of course, horses probably, even though they said he was an avid horseman, he probably more thought of them as a utilitarian thing instead of a pet or a part of the family vibe.
Yeah. That could definitely be, but I don't feel that way.
That just reminded me, for some reason, of the movie Hamnet that I saw in theaters last week. Did I already tell the pod? Brayden and I are back on the unlimited pass for the movies for winter break. So
nice.
We've gone to more movies those past couple of weeks than typical for sure, which has been fun. But I highly recommend seeing that movie because it was just so beautifully shot. It's one that's really fun to see on the big screen because it's these beautiful shots of the forest and nature, but it is also sad, and I did cry in it because there's specifically twin death in the movie, which is always hard for me, and yet again, people just using twins as a emotional ploy. I'm like, gosh, it's always the freaking twins, I guess, because it does just hit extra hard for everyone. And I guess Shakespeare did have twins and they were basing it off of Shakespeare's family, but in any case, at that point they were relying on horses very heavily, and Shakespeare's home in Stratford-upon-Avon to London, I looked it up, it's 100 miles between the two, and at that time it would have taken 3 or 4 days by horseback to go between, depending on if you were changing out your horses and things like that, which you probably wouldn't be. You would just be going slower on the journey, and it's pretty wild to think about the difference that automobiles made for people. Must have been just so revolutionary to be oh my gosh. Even then, the cars then that could go way less efficiently, there were way less roads and stuff like that, is just how much that kind of shucked horses aside from something that was just integral.
Yeah, it's so wild to think that this has happened within a century. To think of the timeline of when cars were invented and then when they became more standard, for people.
Yeah.
To now, it was so recently that happened. It's actually so crazy.
The US, like this whole highway system is like the entire US is just completely designed around cars in a way that, of course, I utilize. That's how I go and visit like our family. And so what are you gonna do? You kind of feel like, how can I criticize this that I'm participating in such a heavy way? But gosh, I would have loved to just see the landscape of the West specifically. I always bring up the West because that's like such a grand landscape and that's our home, but just without all these interstates breaking it up, to just see it laid out before you.
Yeah, times change quickly, and there are moments that can feel really hard to accept the advances of technology. But also watched Klaus, which I love that movie, and that is so good with the toy building, and I believe in humans, and I believe that even in this age of AI, people are going to choose humans and each other. At least a lot of people are gonna keep trying to choose like artists and humans, and I believe in that.
Yeah. That's something that I just so much appreciate about this time of year. Whether you're a Christmas celebrator or not, I think that the Christmas spirit is a very uplifting thing to have people. Even I feel it in the shop so much with people coming in that are just feel more invested in each other and giving each other the time of day and benefit of the doubt and encouraging giving and thinking of others and goodwill and all of these very important things. Whether you're religious or not, Quinn and I aren't, but I still observe the spirit of Christmas ways because good tidings we freaking bring. I love that. I love joy, peace, kindness, togetherness, family, generosity, all great things.
Celebrating present time with people. Yeah, that's what I love too, and I think
that's my reason for the season.
Yeah, I think that a lot of religions get a lot right, and then some very key things wrong a lot of the times as well. And it's interesting just even looking back at the history, learning more about Christmas and where this holiday came from, and that it's not actually, people think that based on the Bible what suggests Jesus's birth is that it's more like springtime, and so that this is kind of just a holiday that Rome ended up assigning to once they decided that Christianity was their main belief system, that they kind of assigned this as Jesus's birthday, and that there's just so much more lore and information. I have dug into it a little bit myself and watched some videos about it, so obviously everyone should do their own research, but I also saw that the term Virgin Mary was not even having to do with what we've assigned that meaning today, that it was like a woman that wasn't owned by a man. So
interesting.
Anyway, it's just interesting to have food for thought about traditions and holidays and religions, and I think that I love for people that are celebrating this time with their religion in mind in a way that is like serving others. I think that's the peace and joy that we all deserve, and we all get to practice our own versions of Christmas, and I'll never stop loving Christmas.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to unpack there and a lot to understand, but that at the core of what I always felt and experienced growing up was for me a very secular experience of just having, if we're really gonna boil it down to this term, just good vibes with each other. And of course that can't be, I don't like to actually say of course that can't be how it is all year long, because I wish that people had the same feeling in their hearts all year long, but it doesn't seem to always be sustained in that way. So it's fun to have a time that people are kind of on board with. It's kind of the same feeling to me as summer break for school, and everyone's like, I'm in a good mood because I get a break. And I think that could be a big contributor too, is that people just get time off, and I think that's a huge indicator that it's very important that we're not just on the hamster wheel all the time. We need like time off to decompress, be with family, do the things you enjoy, whether that's baking or you're going out to eat or doing your free time thing.
A puzzle.
I
will be doing a puzzle this break, yes.
I love that, Quinn. I have started a embroidery hoop project. I've never done that before. I've like embroidered little things, just not even knowing how to embroider, just with my intuition.
Yeah.
So this is my first actual like embroidery project, which is pretty fun. And Brayden also got us a needle felting kit, which I think is so funny because Brayden is not on, he does not know that has been like a very trendy arts and crafts thing. He just saw it and was like, this is cool, and brought it home for us. I'm like, that's so funny, Brayden. People on the internet love needle felting at the moment. But he got us a little reindeer kit, so that'll be pretty cute to do.
Oh,
and
that's cute.
I'm gonna do a Christmas watercolor as well. I
Fun.
love a little arts and craft break, and I this year actually get a break. Like where I work is closing between Christmas and New Year's Eve, so I'm really looking forward to that. And I hope that you guys have a lovely holiday however you celebrate, whoever you're with. We are not going to be with our bigger families this year, which for some people, that's how they prefer to celebrate, and for some, that's really hard. You're missing certain people, and I just hope that you can find a lot of joy however it suits you, whether you're having a super quiet time or you're partying down with your people.
Me too. I wish everyone well, and maybe try writing a couple people a Christmas card this year, or doing a little journaling about how you're feeling around the holiday time, or journaling about some end of the year thoughts. I've been having a non-regimented, like it's not like every night I'm journaling or anything like that, but a consistent journaling practice for the past couple of months, and it's feeling really good for me. So I'm excited, and definitely going to be making sure I give myself downtime to just like do a little journaling and thinking, and that's to me gonna be definitely a positive about us having a much quieter Christmas, is a little more of that like downtime for reflection.
Yeah, I love that. And chin up, people, because the solstice is past and the days are getting longer.
Ho 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 ho! That actually does get me stoked, I don't even lie.
Yeah, don't worry. The dark nights are going to be increasingly less dark. Does that make sense to say it that way? Probably not.
The dark nights. As it's been literally over here like Melekaliki Maka. It's like I might as well have a swimming pool in my backyard with the temps right now. I should fill that stock tank up, get another cold plunge in.
I was gonna say, get in your stock tank again and take a bath with your chickens.
Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Alright, happy holidays, friends. You enjoy yourselves. Cheers with a cup of cocoa and candy cane from the Q&R Code. If you're feeling a little holiday cheer, we would love for you to share an episode of the Q&R Code you loved. Leave us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, be merry, send love, and we will talk to you next Tuesday.
Yuletide greetings.
Goodbye.